Iman is always on call to her kids and her patients. One day, she got the best ping ever. It was the Expedia app. Flight prices to Cozumel had just dropped, so it was a great time to book. On the beach, Iman finally felt on call to herself. Almost. You were made to use your Do Not Disturb mode. We were made to track flight prices to out of office. Expedia, made to travel. Available as a member benefit.
It's your man, Nick Cannon. I'm here to bring you my new podcast, Nick Cannon at Night. Every week, I'm bringing out some of my celebrity friends and the best experts in the business to answer your most intimate relationship questions. So don't be shy. Join the conversation and head over to YouTube to watch Nick Cannon at Night or subscribe on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with KKC. I hope that you have had a great weekend, and we are going to start off the week in the most fun way because Brian Moylan is back with me, and we're going to talk about the last episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, we've been saying that the show needs some levity, and I think we found something. Now, I don't know if it was intentional, but here are the plot lines that are going on the last episode. And if you don't watch the show, I still think you're going to find this amusing. So just for context, I need you to know that one of the cast members, Heather Dubrow, is quite wealthy. She's got a husband who's a plastic surgeon. They have 4 kids. She's been on the show and at times with her husband, who is also a reality TV star, for many seasons, off and on. A little bit of a break at one point, but she's back on the show, although she physically lives in a whole other county. She lives in Los Angeles. She lives in a penthouse. I believe there are 2 floors or 2 apartments within this building in which they live. So when they go on an excursion, it's typically like to somewhere tropical. In this episode, they're like, well, pack your bags. We're going to go to the county of Los Angeles to stay at Heather's place. So that's already funny because it's like a 45-minute drive without traffic. When they get there, first of all, they go to a restaurant. They run into a paparazzi. Lots of people question whether or not that was a plant too. And then they go and stay in her apartment, and she has set it up to look like 3 toddler beds in an orphanage. And she's got a butler there, she's got a chef there, and Gretchen becomes inebriated. But she's one of those people where you're like, is she actually inebriated, or was she drinking seltzer water and she's just like playing this goofy character that's acting drunk? You can't figure it out. And during this evening in Los Angeles, she talks about this rumor alleging that Tamara, another cast member, had an affair with a male singer from a boy band. Now, of course, my ears prick up. I'm like, wait, boy band? Like, what's going on? She claimed that there was audio of Tamara being intimate, if you will, with this singer in a recording studio, and that it was like over a decade ago, and it was during some campaign. And that they had gone into the recording studio and her voice was hellacious. And then they end up like getting it on. And that her partner had listened to the audio and may or may not have it on their computer, there's just a lot of moving parts to that story. And also that the affair seemed to have happened while Tamara was married. But they don't name the person in the band, or I should say it's like bleeped out. But of course, the great people on Reddit and whatever, they have revealed it to be Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. Now, what you need to know is Tamara is friends with Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees and his wife. So if that were real, I don't think that they would be friends. Also important to note, I have run into Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees most recently a couple months ago in Anaheim at a dance competition for high school girls. Have to say, the guy looks great. He is very nice. Emailed with him a couple times. I don't think that he would get involved with a reality star. I don't know. I just feel like boy banders and reality stars like that those 2 worlds don't really collide in a romantic way. So I just to hear it on TV and then to see what people are commenting on and then to get it confirmed that it was the rumor it's supposed to be Jeff Timmons, it all seems so absolutely absurd, which makes it funny. And of course, Tamara denied it. And Gretchen then, of course, backs off it a bit. She says, all right, she didn't know all the details firsthand and that some of it came from her partner, Slade, who said that it was on audio. And I just found it to be really funny. Now, if you're asking yourself, what the hell is 98 Degrees, Kate? Well, they were formed in 1996 in LA. And unlike many pop stars of that era, they were not created by a label or producer. The members came independently and were later signed by Motown Records. And the members were Nick Lachey, Drew Lachey, his brother, Jeff Timmons, and Justin Jeffrey. They had a bunch of songs, including The Hardest Thing, I Do, Cherish You. Most importantly to me, Give Me Just One Night, Una Noche. So I found this to be endlessly funny because I think that when Gretchen drops this tidbit, she thought she was going to, I don't know, throw a grenade in Tamara's life. And instead, I think everyone was kind of like, if that did happen, which obviously it didn't, it is kind of funny. Like it actually worked in the reverse. So I think you're going to enjoy this episode. And in the end of it, we talk about who we would like to hook up with in the music industry, namely members of boy bands. So sit back, enjoy yourself, and make sure, of course, that you are subscribed to this podcast and leave a 5-star review. Here's my interview with Brian. Brian, we are back together today on this fine Monday morning.
I know. I've missed you so. I feel like we just solved all of Real Housewives of Orange County's problems.
We did. I know.
Like recently. So why are we even back, Kate Casey?
Because they never listen to us.
Oh,
They never do.
God
All
damn
these
it.
years.
What's it going to take? What's it going to take?
Do the people know that we did a presentation to Columbia's film school?
I mean, they should.
We Dr. Raquel Gates kindly asked us to talk about reality TV and Bravo. And if the good people at Columbia University see what we bring to the table, it's a surprise to me that Bravo has not.
I am honestly shocked myself. All that we've given to Bravo over all these years.
Yeah.
And they still don't love us.
Do you think that at some point our statues may be in front of headquarters, NBC Universal?
I mean, I feel like if it hasn't happened so far, it might not happen.
It might not happen. By the way, if they did have a statue of you in front of NBC Universal, it should be a picture of you on that floaty that you posted on Instagram. I guess it was this summer after your vacation.
Yes. Oh my God.
pool.
So in my newsletter this week, I posted Andy Cohen posted his end of the summer, shirtless picture and was looking good. And, here's mine by comparison. And I got a ton of new followers from my own newsletter.
There you go.
Yeah. So the thirst pays off, I guess.
Keeping it hot. Well, speaking of hot, this episode of Real Housewives of Orange County, I had to talk to you about because we have been saying that this show lacks anything funny. And I think they were inadvertently funny because the big thing of the show was a rumor regarding a member of a boy band who they said may have slept with Tamara Judge. So we're going to get to that today because it's been on my mind all weekend and I've been so excited to talk to you about it. But first, I have to say that it was surprising to me that their idea of an excursion was to spend the day and night in Beverly Hills at Heather's home. They're openly just discussing the fact she does not live there at all. She does not live in the county of Orange at all. And so the big excursion is get on the 405 and we could go stay at Heather's penthouse.
Yeah, when your house is far enough away that it constitutes a cash trip, you need to move.
Yes.
I get that, okay, some of the Atlanta ladies don't live in Atlanta. The Beverly Hills ladies don't live in Beverly Hills. Okay, but if your main residence is an excursion, that seems out of bounds.
Also, if you are going to spend the night in LA, it's surprising that you would want to do it in a penthouse. Don't you want to be by the beach?
That makes sense to me too. But I did like that they did because we keep seeing them going to the beach on here and Beverly Hills and on Vanderpump Rules. And every time it looks miserable. It's always cold. It's always windy. They're all bundled up. No one wants to be there. So at least we got a different side of LA, which is and I feel like the more like the experience of people who live there. Like when I spend a lot of time in LA, I don't ever go to the beach. I'm just, but I am on Rodeo Drive. Hey, looking for paparazzi. Tell me that paparazzi was staged.
Totally
or
staged.
Not staged.
I think it was staged. Don't you think it was staged?
100%. And like Heather, I'm glad that she's telling the truth about how she wants to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I just wish she would tell the truth that she called us paparazzi, because we all know she did.
You know what?
And
I just realized what this
hill.
is. I realized what this is. This was the sizzle reel for her to give to Alex about why she should be on Beverly Hills.
Yeah. No, right. Or why she should have her own show. She wants to be the Meredith Marks of the next gen LA. That's what she wants.
Do you think she'll end up being a DJ like Meredith too?
I hope not. I kind of love this like groundlings, shitty musicals, like Hallmark holiday movies.
Yeah.
Like direction for Heather Dubrow. Like I feel, there's definitely a big overlap in the Housewives fans, Hallmark Christmas movie fans, Venn diagrams. And I think Heather would be a natural. I think her acting skills are just up to the caliber of like Hallmark movie.
I think all of them just kind of feel like characters to me. I kind of look at the show that way. And I feel like Heather should just lean into roles which are exaggerated versions of herself, like an unrelenting mother who is never happy at a restaurant. Yeah. Just play those kind of characters. And I think you could set the day on fire.
So when you first heard the blind item of who Tamra slept with from a boy band, A, who did you think it was? And B, who did you want it to be?
Oh, well, I didn't really have to think about it because I knew that rumor already before the season started. So I didn't really think about it. But if I were to think about, I kind of like that it was someone in 98 Degrees.
I also love 98 Degrees in that, if it was NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, it's a little too A-list for our girls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that it's a little bit desperate. It's a little bit B-list. It's a little bit like, oh, that's the guy you slept with to try to get ahead of the music industry, Yeah. But in my fantasy world, I wanted it to be either Bobby Brown, just for like the mess.
Amazing, yes.
Of like,
show me the receipts.
Tamra slept with Bobby Brown.
Yes.
My other thing that I think would be hilarious is if it was Lance Bass, and after Tamra, that's when he was like, no.
Yeah,
dudes only. Sorry, dudes only. Strictly dickly for me, Lance Bass. Like Tamra was his last stop on the bisexuality train. And then he just,
And now, a next-level moment from AT&T Business. Say you've sent out a gigantic shipment of pillows, and they need to be there in time for International Sleep Day. You've got AT&T 5G, so you're fully confident. But the vendor isn't responding, and International Sleep Day is tomorrow. Luckily, AT&T 5G lets you deal with any issues with ease, so the pillows will get delivered and everyone can sleep soundly, especially you. AT&T 5G requires a compatible plan and device. Coverage not available everywhere. Learn more at att.com/5G network.
It's your man, Nick Cannon, and I'm here to bring you my new podcast, Nick Cannon at Night. I've heard y'all been needing some advice in the love department. So who better to help than yours truly? Nah, I'm serious. Every week, I'm bringing out some of my celebrity friends and the best experts in the business to answer your most intimate relationship questions. Having problems with your man? We got you. Catching feelings for your sneaky link? Let's make sure it's the real deal first. Ready to bring toys into the bedroom? Let's talk about it. Consider this a non-judgment zone to ask your questions when it comes to sex and modern dating in relationships, friendships, situationships, and everything in between. It's gonna be sexy, freaky, messy, and you know what? You'll just have to watch the show. So don't be shy. Join the conversation and head over to YouTube to watch Nick Cannon at Night or subscribe on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Want to watch episodes early and ad-free? Join Wondery Plus right now.
Well, this was to have happened. I don't know how many years ago are we talking? This was supposed to have happened before she met Eddie. So how much? We're going back in time. How many years?
Oh, yeah. Well, so if she, okay, Tamara came on in season 3, which is like 2010, right?
Okay.
And she was married to Simon for maybe like 3 of those seasons, 2 of those seasons. So it's like 2010, 2011, 2012 at the latest would be my guess.
Okay.
And I feel like even then, 98 Degrees was on the wane, right?
Well, I think that this was at the high point of housewives that wanted to be midlife pop stars. So they were all probably kind of gunning for like who could be at the top of the heap. So it was nice to go back in time because I do remember fondly the days of Melissa Gorga in the studio in the basement and really believing in between pickups and drop-offs and soccer practices that she was going to go on the road and just like have a sea of people in a stadium just jumping and singing the words to one of the songs that perhaps her husband had written. I loved that era.
Yes.
And
on display, also a jam.
Totally. I do remember that campaign, the no hate, and that was like a thing for a minute. And they all wore the duct tape over their mouths. And then all of them being angry who wasn't asked to be a part of it. So that was like a fun to go back in time moment.
Yes. And I hated that campaign. I remember it's when I was writing for Gawker and all the celebrities would do that. And it made no sense to me because it's like you would just go and take a picture and it would say no hate and you'd have duct tape on your mouth. But like, what is no hate and the duct tape? And like, it made no sense to me. And they'd be like super airbrushed. It would always be these like D-list celebrities. And like everyone was like clamoring to do it because it was the cool thing. Mm-hmm. And like, oh my God, it was the living worst. It was like literally the worst. Literally the least straight people could do for gay people at the time was like, get your picture taken and, you know, get some gay clout by saying that you
they did
put
feel
duct
like
tape
that.
on your phone.
Yeah, because a lot of them, you were like, what are your real feelings about the world? It felt like a little bit made up.
Yeah, and also Janice Dickinson, do we need to see you with no hate tape on your face? Like, it seems like Janice Dickinson, someone who would have done it. You know what I mean? It was like that.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't Julia Roberts.
No, it was not.
No.
So this entire season, I've been trying to figure out what Gretchen and Slade are all about and what they do. And like I said, I look at them like characters.
Mm-hmm.
Drop in every once in a while that she has this music catalog, a plethora of songs waiting in the wings. And he has said that she is this prodigious songwriter. I'm trying to figure out if, like Heather is trying to film the sizzle reel for the show that she wants to film or for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, what is the show that Gretchen and Slade are trying to, what are they trying to sell us for a spinoff?
I don't know if this is what they want, but the only thing I can see for them making any sense is like the Baldwins, but on that right-wing Christian network that Candace Cameron Bure makes Christmas movies for. You know, like she wants to be like the Christian Osbournes.
Oh, okay.
Right. And that's why she's so much Jesus-ier. She's so much MAGA-ier than we ever saw her before. And, you know, maybe that's just how her life goes, but they're definitely forwarding that. Like, oh, let's pray before we leave the house. You know, it's like, yeah.
Okay, so they go to Beverly Hills. She takes them to what? Crustacean or something. Then they have this meal. The first thing I'm wondering is like who paid for it? Production, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah. Well, from my understanding, they are either paying for or getting trade for most of those meals.
Okay, so if you were in that position, are you like, bring me the most expensive bottle of wine?
100%. Yeah. Well, even if, like, I loved when Emily was like, Heather's paying, so I'm like getting the expensive steak. Like, I would do that too. If you're going to be Heather Dubrow and shove your wealth in our face at every opportunity, I'm taking full advantage. I am not only ordering breakfast at a private chef. I'm ordering lunch and dinner and a to-go box. Like, I am cashing in.
What were the production calls before that? Did she say, okay, I'm willing to have only 2 people because I can't have more than 4 according to the code in the apartment building? And they were like, okay, you have to take Gretchen and Emily.
Well, I feel like they've been doing these like split up cast trips on some of the shows where, we take some one place, we take some another place. And I think that it was more like Heather got stuck with the leftovers. It was like,
okay,
we need Tamara to deal with Jen and we need Tamara to deal with Shannon. We need Emily there to negotiate. And so, Heather, you get these two. Someone on Twitter said, I haven't verified this, but that the breakfast chef at Heather's is the same chef who did the Denise Richards weed dinner in Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which it seems to align, but I would need to verify, but I like this story for us.
So one is supposed to assume that this is the chef that lives with the Dubrow family. And even though it's basically just Heather and Terry, because all of the three other kids are off to school in college, or one is just about to graduate while they're filming this. So they need a chef to just create every meal for the 3.5 people that are in this penthouse apartment. Is not in fact true. It's probably somebody that they brought in for this excursion. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to say, if I had Dubrow money, the first thing I'm doing is getting my own chef.
Really?
Like that's,
okay.
Yeah. I hate cooking, but I also don't want to be fat. So I would love somebody to just come in and make all my meals and be like, thanks, girl.
I think I would just prefer to have something just sent to the house, like a meal delivery service, versus having someone in a chef's coat, like in your kitchen all day.
Yeah, and I don't need them there every day. You're right. I probably need them 2 to 3 days a week, and they make a bunch of shit.
And then they put it in the fridge, and then they call it a day. Yeah. Okay, good.
Right. Yeah. Glad we settled that for when we strike it rich.
When that happens. One thing that did bother me and does bother me about this show is when you go to Heather's apartment and they have the beds put together like they're in an orphanage, they exaggerate the prices. Kids in this area, and I'm sure other parts of the country, you can pay for someone to bring those little tents and beds into your house for a kid's sleepover. And I think it was $15,000 or maybe $30,000 that they put. That is absurd. It's so stupid.
She said she spent $15,000 on the whole thing, and I guess that includes the butler, the crustacean,
the butler
all the
was probably her son's friend from college. That was not that. I mean, come on, let's get real.
He was cute. He could be my butler. He could be my personal chef and butler.
And he looked like he was just so annoyed by them. Why am I? That's what I'm saying. He wasn't a real butler. He's I got to clock out. I got a class. I got to hit at 5.
Oh, he's one of Heather's groundlings, classmates. And she was like, hey, kid, you're cute. You want to make $200?
Totally. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know I'm popping around, but back at that dinner that they had at Crustacean, Heather talks about her own father and how Tamara reminds her of him.
Yes.
And there were two things that struck me. One, in her explanation of it, she said that she spoke to Tamara about it and her reaction was, but I don't yell at my own family in public. So just once again highlights that Tamara's always defensive, does not want to take a moment to kind of process something and listen to someone else's perspective. And then the second part is the way she said that point about her father. And when Gretchen asked, well, how are things with your dad now? One, I think he's dead. And number two, the way that Heather responded was oh, well, thank you for asking me. Makes you wonder, does no one ask her questions at all about her life? Thank you for, she was wow, thank you for, just nobody in this cast asks her anything personally, or she just doesn't want to share anything?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like it might be a combination of the two, because while we've seen a lot of Heather's life and we've met her mom, this was an unlikely bit of sharing from Heather, right?
Yes.
We don't hear a lot like we do from Shannon, where she's always going back and hear all the traumas that happened to me. Heather's always keeping it cute and cunty, putting on that facade that everything's great. So it was rare, I think, for her to share. And I think that, yes, it's a reaction to how she does on this cast, that when she did share, someone finally asked her a question rather than coming in with their own trauma or trying to one-up her, trying to make it about herself. It reminded me of in the Berkshires where Jules Weinstein's like father's in the hospital and Countess Luann keeps talking to her about, oh my God, can you believe what Bethany just said to me? And she's like, I'm calling my dad. He might be dying.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know, it's like kind of like the same thing where, no one ever wants to talk about Heather. But I also feel like that might be because Heather has trained them a little to like, don't ask me. You know, okay, good. I'm only going as far as I'm comfortable with, and I'm not. Yeah, I really did not like Tamra bringing up Shannon's father being an alcoholic.
No. Mm-mm.
In that, yes, I do think it explains a lot about Shannon, and I don't think that Tamra was like trying to get her or like make a dig at her, but it wasn't something, you know, keep the families out of it, you know?
By the way, I sat behind Gene the Machine at a restaurant about 2 Sundays ago, and he was with his friend, and they were on speakerphone talking to Shannon, like in the restaurant. And they're like, Shannon, and like asking her questions. And it made me realize for a moment, for all the times that they keep insinuating that Shannon is bored, I think she spends a lot of her time with like helping her dad. Because I've seen them together at the same restaurant. I think her dad is 96 years old. I think that probably occupies a lot of her life.
Yes. My husband, Christian, his current obsession is the text messages that Shannon must send the daughters.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, imagine the texts they get.
Yeah.
He keeps like bringing it up like, they must be so long, so drunk, middle of the night. Sophie's getting like, you know, Adeline is getting like 19 screens of text from her mom just talking about the dog.
Well, the dog, there was one evening where she had posted that the dog Archie had been missing, and everyone from that neighborhood was like on the prowl, like out at night with flashlights like Nancy Drew, and it turned out the dog was like locked in the basement or something.
I mean, say what you will about Shannon. I mean, take her, leave her, love her, hate her. But you cannot hate Archie Bador. I mean, he is one of our greatest house pets.
What about Tamara's like, oh, so how's your new house? She's like, it's a couple doors down from the last one. So anyway, I'm making something. Shut up.
I mean, I'm with Shannon in that if on the rare occasion that I am cooking or doing something like that, it's like, not right now.
Just not right now.
Yeah, I need to focus on what I'm doing, and I will tell you in a minute.
Yeah.
Right. Your question is noted and will be addressed in the order in which it was received.
In November 1974, IRA bombs ripped through 2 Birmingham pubs, killing 21 innocent people. Hundreds more were injured. It was the worst attack on British soil since the Second World War.
When a crime this appalling and shocking happens, you want the police to act quickly. And boy, did they. The very next day, they had 6 men in custody. Confessions followed, and the men were sent down for life.
Good riddance, you might think, except those men were innocent. Join me, Matt Ford.
And me, Alice Levine.
For the latest series of British Scandal, all about the Birmingham Six.
It's the story of how a terrible tragedy morphed into a travesty of justice, and how one man couldn't rest until he'd exposed the truth.
Follow British Scandal now wherever you listen to podcasts and binge entire series early and ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hi, I'm Denise Chan, host of Scam Factory. You might remember hearing about our investigative series that exposed what's really happening behind those suspicious texts you get. Inside heavily guarded compounds across Asia, thousands are trapped and forced to scam others or risk torture. One of our most powerful stories was Jella's, a young woman who thought she'd found her dream job, only to end up imprisoned in a scam compound. Her escape story caught the attention of Criminal's Phoebe Judge, and I'm honored to share more details of Jella's journey with their audience. But Jella's story is just one piece of this investigation. In Scam Factory, we reveal how a billion-dollar criminal empire turns job seekers into prisoners, and how the only way out is to scam your way out. Ready to uncover the full story? Binge all episodes of Scam Factory now. Listen to Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Heather, too. Like, she actually has to leave the county of Orange in order for you to get anything personal. Like, the minute she just drives into the Los Angeles vicinity, then all of a sudden she's like an open book.
Maybe that's like going along with your plan is she's saying like, listen, if you want me to share, come to LA.
Yes.
Better yet, bring me to LA.
Yes.
And like, this is the Heather you'll get. You won't get that uptight, fancy pants OC Heather. You're going to get Sherry, messy Heather.
Yes. Warm and open. And I'm going to give you a whole different version of myself. But it also made me, again, she's like a character to me. And when I saw her with her mother years ago, I thought this is some of the finest moments of Real Housewives ever. And gave you a real window into how she probably felt like she never measured up for her mother, who just was totally unhappy with the waitress. And remember the drink that she was given?
Yes. Yep.
And then to add to that, the father who's yelling at dinner. And I'm trying to place myself next to Heather at a table as a younger person with those two character parents. It reminded me of my friend Lisa's wedding. I go to it. It's in LA. It's beautiful, a gorgeous day, everything. I walk up to her mom. I said, I have to tell you, what a wonderful day. Lisa looks so beautiful. This is just a spectacular day. And her mom goes, got to be honest, I've been cold the whole time. I'm not happy about the appetizers. I didn't like my drink. And she just like went through all the things that bothered her.
Right.
And it made me laugh so hard. I'm like, she is authentically herself. And I feel like that's how Heather's parents must have been. And that's why it's impossible for her to let her guard down, because she was around people who were never, ever happy with anything that they got.
No, and I think that what was interesting about meeting Heather's mother is that Heather is exactly the same as the mother, right?
Yeah.
But then she also had this father who was very demanding and kind of crazy and erratic, who she was embarrassed of. And I think that those two things really explain her, where it's like, I want everything to be perfect. I need everything to be perfect to appease these two people. But also, I'm not going to let you in. I'm not going to show anything but perfection because the truth is too messy. The truth is too vulnerable. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think it explains a lot of Heather in a way that we, in all of these years of knowing Heather, haven't really gotten to know her.
But then I got mad too, because I was like, why did it take so long for me to find out this part? Like, some of the characters have been on for 79 seasons and I still don't really know too much about them.
It was like when Alexia was talking to Stephanie on that Virgin cruise and was like, I have a sister I don't talk to. And it's like,
what?
There's a sister?
Totally.
That we like a secret sister?
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've been through marriages, accidents, divorces, deaths, the ex-husband's gay lover. Yeah. And now you're pulling out this like secret sister. Melissa Gorga wishes. Melissa Gorga was trying to invent a secret sister.
That's right.
And Alexia has one, you know?
I think that the producers need to do and I mean like the showrunner, if you keep this group of women together for the next season, God help us, you have to somehow get them to talk about their relationship with their parents and how they look at their parents as an older person and how affected the way they parent. Because unless we get these little slivers of where they've come from, I can't figure out who they are now.
No, I completely agree. And I do think for next season, I'm going to say something controversial.
Okay.
Tamara's time might be up.
I think a lot of their time's up.
I think a lot of their time is... Well, that's the thing is, do you keep Tamara or do you keep everybody else? Because Tamara can't keep playing the same... Like, the tactic is tired. None of these people want to forgive her. She's burned them all. She doesn't have an ally left who she hasn't fucked over. She has no loyalty to anybody. So unless they're going to get her a bunch of whole new people to fuck over, then they need to get rid of her.
I think the other ones lack kind of an interesting plot line either. I mean, I just like Gretchen to me is probably
terrible.
Yeah, she's just really boring.
I feel like if you're going to bring people back, and to her credit, though she wasn't as great, like Lydia McLaughlin was a good example of this, where it's like, if you're going to come back, the past is the past.
Yeah.
Like, we are not talking about it. We're not addressing it. We're not like, coming up with old beefs. Like, you cannot like Tamara and be like, Tamara and I have a long past and it's complicated, but we're not relitigating Naked Wasted. We're not bringing up 12-year-old rumors. Like, it needs to move forward. And that's not only for us, it's also for these women. Like, I don't want, like, what Gretchen hasn't shown us anything new or interesting or given us any reason to keep her or show why she's been back. And same with Alexis.
Agreed. Well, the last question I have for you is, if we go back and talk about this Slade and Gretchen story about how Tamara was allegedly in the music studio with this other celebrity, is he insinuating that they had sex in front of other people and someone caught it on audio and that he listened to a clip of that?
Yes, he seems to be insinuating, at least from what I took from the story, that they were in the studio, they were recording, and I don't know, I heard a clip on Twitter of her bad singing. Supposedly they start singing and it's really bad, and then they get bored of singing but forgot to shut the tape off and end up like fucking in the recording studio. And so you can hear a recording of them making like fucking noises. And so he's alleging that's what he heard. Is that
what you heard when you listened to the clip?
Tamara. I listened to the clip and it was all singing. And I don't know if there was a fucking part of the clip that they edited out or didn't air or whatever. But yeah.
But again, why would he listen to that? And why would he talk about it? I just don't know any other husband that I know that would go, oh my God, I totally listened to this audio and then kept it on their computer and then like referenced it, especially 15 years later. It's weird.
That he kept it is weird. Like, if it was my enemy and you were like, here's a video of them cheating on their spouse in the recording studio, I would listen to it. I would listen to maybe 3 to 5 seconds to hear the fucking noises and be like, oh yeah, they were really fucking. And then I'm like done with it. But like, to hold on to it for the eventual opportunity to bring it back up again on the show to embarrass them so that you can get your fucking revenge like a decade later is loser behavior. Sorry, Slade.
Now, that said, if I had slept with a boy bander, it would be in my Instagram bio. It would be on a yard sign in my front yard.
100%.
I would bring it up at every dinner party. I would probably have it emblazoned on a hoodie, front and back. So when I'm on a run, people are also reminded that at one moment I spent a night or a day or 5 minutes in a recording studio with somebody from 98 Degrees.
And also, every dance competition you went to, you tell all the other moms.
Yes.
That guy from 98 Degrees,
Yes.
I fucked him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and also, if she cheated on Simon with this guy, which is what we're going with, then why wouldn't, if she did it, why wouldn't she cop to it? Like, Simon already fucking hates her and won't talk to her.
Right. We all hated Simon. So she would have said, by the way, I went out with a blaze of glory because I signed I gave him the divorce papers right after I slept with somebody from 98 Degrees. Give me just one more night. Una noche.
Are all the kids out of the house now? Like, are all of her and Simon's kids like old enough?
I think so. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at this point, like, she has nothing. That's
when you talk.
I fucked that guy.
Yeah. But by the way, add a couple in. Make believe. I don't know.
I mean, hello. Add Vince Gill. Add Richie Sambora.
Yes. Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. Ricky
John
Martin.
Sakata.
Yeah. She also, got it on with, what's her name for the Pussycat Dolls there? Not Rachel Ziegler. Nicole Scherzinger.
Wow.
Add Nicole Scherzinger to the mix. A little Lady Pond action. Why not?
If there's one, I'm going to let people go out with this big question. If there was to be one singer that you would like to spend the night with, who would it be? Because for me, it's Louis Tomlinson from One Direction.
That is a very good question that I'm going to have to think about for a minute. I know that my husband's is both of the Chainsmokers.
Oh, not one, but both.
Oh my God, he loves them both, even the ugly one. I'm like, okay, sure, go for it. Singer that like Ricky Martin. I mean, hello.
Ricky Martin is a yeah, that's a ding, ding, ding for me too.
Yeah,
yes.
He's hot as shit and gay. Like, sign me up.
And I feel like he's super emotional and he would write love letters too.
And he I just want to fall asleep in those big meaty arms of his.
Yes. I want to make out with Louis Tomlinson, but I feel like he's funny and we could just stay up all night and laugh about dumb stuff. But I'm kind of into that.
I would also be really into Zayn, mostly because he's hot and I want to fuck him. And B, I want the Yolanda's crazy tea. Like, after we're done, I want to be like, tell me about that mother-in-law.
With a cigarette and a cup of coffee.
100%. And just get it down boots from Zayn.
Okay. Well, tell everybody where they can follow you.
You can follow me at Brian J. Moylan on all social media platforms. And you can subscribe to my newsletter at vulture.com/housewives. It comes out every 2 weeks.
Thank you,
it's free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, Brian Moylan, and remind you to click subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review. Join the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. Then also make sure you are subscribed to my What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at KatecaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, Twitter and Threads at Kate Casey. And lastly, make sure you check out bonus episodes on Patreon and Apple Podcast. Check back tomorrow for an all-new episode.
On Boxing Day 2018, 20-year-old Joy Morgan was last seen at her church, Israel United in Christ, or IUIC.
I just went on my Snapchat and I just see her face plastered everywhere.
This is The Missing Sister, the true story of a woman betrayed by those she trusted most.
IUIC is my family and like the best family that I've ever had.
But IUIC isn't like most churches.
This is a devilish cult.
You know when you get that feeling where you just, I don't want to be here. I want to get out. It's like that feeling of, okay, I want to go home now.
I'm Charlie Brinkhurst-Cuff, and after years of investigating Joy's case, I need to know, what really happened to Joy? Binge all episodes of The Missing Sister exclusively and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus. Start your free trial of Wondery Plus on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or in the Wondery app.